Welcome, everyone, to Totally Whiskey and Wine. I'm Jason, your host, and with me, as always, is James, our intermediate, and Zach, our industry professional. Today, we are going to be reviewing this Kentucky Owl Straight Bourbon Whiskey, and it is a mix of Irish whiskey and Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it, Zach, real quick?
So it's not a blend of Irish whiskey at all.
It's not.
So this is Kentucky Owl St.Patricks edition. This is a source product from Kentucky Owl, meaning they did not distill it.
Oh.
The bottles were collected by Louise McGann, who is a Irish bonder over in Ireland. And then John Rea did the blending on it. So
okay.
They paid somebody to go out and collect a couple of barrels and then blend it up to taste like this.
All right. So how did we rate this? Without further ado, drum roll, please. 54. All right, so not the greatest
smirks.
Yeah, not the greatest score there. So how do we rate things? Well, we break it up in 4 categories. Those categories are the nose, the mouthfeel, the flavor, and finally the finish. So what we do is we each blind test and rate each of those 4 categories up to 25 points individually, add all our numbers together to get a score up to 100, and then from there we add our scores together, average everything out to get our final score. So how did we get the individual scores though? Well, we're going to talk about that here by starting out with the nose. So I'll go ahead and start with the nose. To be honest, I couldn't really pick up anything on the nose. Even doing a deeper inhale on it, I mostly got just alcohol on it, and I just didn't find it that pleasant. So I only give it a 12, just because it wasn't, for me, it wasn't a great experience. It was not even middle of the road compared to some of the others we've tested, and over time, it just, I was like, this is below average for me.
All right, me next. So the great balance are going to again. So nose-wise, it's subtle. It's just a lot of rye, I think, but it's subtle. I get a little bit of mint. I kind of like those grasshopper cookies. I think Keebler makes or something like that. So I got those. That's probably a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of mint. Sort of that kind of reminded me as grasshopper cookies. And I also get a little bit of orange. I get like kind of orange, fresh orange, okay. Little orange nose in there. So 19 for me. Wasn't terrible, but 19.
And I gave it just below average at 14 with notes of soft buttered toast and vanilla. Just wasn't doing a whole lot for me. Looking at now, I would have maybe even reviewed it even less. But just generally was not a big fan of the nose. I thought it was about average.
And as you can see, James is enjoying.
All right, I took a light pour on the first one. I'm familiar with this bottle. I have it at home. So.
Mm-hmm. So that's what we got for the nose. But what about mouthfeel?
Ooh.
Why don't you start us off with this one, Zach?
Sure, I'll go ahead and start us off at the floor. I gave this a mouthfeel of a 9. I thought it was god awful. How to put this to words? So, yeah. For clarification, this is 100 proof, right?
Mm-hmm.
50% ABV. Drinks way above that.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is rough. It is not as thoroughly aged as it needs to be.
Yep.
The color on here is just super pale. It very clearly needs more time. Kentucky Owl needed to leave this in the oven, and they did not, so it just falls flat. It is not doing anything good for me.
Mm-hmm. What did you think there, James?
Again, the great evener. It's going to be a trend here. I'm a little better on almost all my I think all my numbers than these guys are. Mm-hmm. But mouthfeel, I gave it a 19. I found it was for what it was. I wouldn't call it smooth. It was just even mouth coverage. So it's good coverage, even coverage. That's what I could find on it. I couldn't find anything real incredible. It wasn't burny, spicy. It wasn't completely empty. It wasn't exceptionally smooth or harsh, I don't think. But so 19 on it. I mean, okay. I can drink through it.
All right, now I am going to disagree with you as the not harsh, because the very first word that came to mind when I took that first sip of it, I was just like, exactly what Zach said. Is like,
Yeah, where's
Wait a
your
minute,
balance?
this is 100 proof? Bullshit. This seems so much stronger than that. Yeah, it's just, for me, it was harsh. I gave it a 10. So just hair better than what Zach did.
I just have a note here. Rough.
Yeah,
Rough.
I have a note here.
Good
Harsh.
coverage. I gave it good coverage. It's a good coverage. None of it's good. It's just getting
Good coverage.
They had that
The
one,
coverage is there. How good the coverage is
Yeah.
giving is this?
like zone or man-on-man coverage.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on now to flavor. So for flavor, once again, just like with nose, I really couldn't pick up anything. And again, with that mouthfeel, that harshness that I was getting, it just wasn't pleasant. I gave it a 10 on this as well because I couldn't pick up anything that I enjoyed.
I wasn't quite that rough on it. I gave it a 14 on flavor. It develops a little bit off of the nose towards the palate. So I got a little bit of toasted oak, some vanilla and espresso in here as well. Wasn't leaning into any citrus notes for me. The espresso may have given it a little bit of that acidity that could be attributed towards a fruit, possibly.
Probably.
But I just wasn't a huge fan of it. 14.
So okay, flavor 18, bit of citrus. You think that's probably a little bit more in that? Yeah.
I could have been leaning towards that espresso
Yeah.
acidity.
Yeah, I'm not big into oranges and I don't drink coffee, but I kind of try to give it like a citrusy kind of hints, little, not big like a lot of other things I think is citrusy, but I had to give it something. Cookies, I still get cookies, kind of like a cookies. You said toasted, kind of like a cookie kind of cookies thing, and mint. I still pick up some mint too. Same carries over from the nose, carries over to the flavor. They line up pretty well, so it's not too drastic difference things. So nose and flavor line up pretty well.
Okay. All right. And that brings us finally to the finish. So, James, why don't you start us out?
All right,
Finish.
so here it is. Average hug with spice and mild notes, like mid palate, even full. I gave it a 20. I think that it has at 100. It drinks a little over its proof for sure. But overall, as it comes together, I have this bottle at home. I haven't visited it in probably 3 or 4 months, but mine's maybe half gone. It doesn't seem to be aging out in the bottle. It's the way I remembered it. And Zach has it in his collection here too. I don't think I'd buy another one, but it's consumable. It's not a grain pour for me. It's something that, I don't go and recommend people try it. Like, oh, you guys, this is the best Kentucky Owl I've ever had. You got to try it. Absolutely not. But it's consumable. I can think of 1 or 2 other bottles that they make in that time frame that are even worse.
Oh, really?
Worse, like even worse. So yeah, 20.
All right, Zach.
So I went ahead and gave it a 10 on the finish.
Anybody need the lighter refilled? You need a
kick Kentucky Owl while they're down. But I am just there was not one redeemable quality about the finish for me. I mean,
I'm trying to hate it as much as you. I came again another pour just to see if I hate it as much as you guys hated it. I don't hate it that much.
Just coming out of the rough palate, the harsh mouthfeel, it just ended up like water at the end. Like I wanted to leave it some like actual tangible quality in my palate, but I'm sitting here having had it on my tongue for a little bit. There's nothing.
It was gone.
It's like I had a glass of water and just washed away all the whiskey.
It didn't turn me away. It just doesn't last very long.
It's
like what's there is okay to me. There's some sweets in there. There's some other stuff to me. I'm hitting again and again, and I still don't want to murder as bad as you guys. I'm like, why did I like this so much? And you guys hate it.
Well, I don't want to murder it. I just have to.
Yeah.
I'm obligated to at this point.
Yeah. I was actually a little bit nicer on the finish. Not as nice as you, but a little nicer.
You've been on a rye kick lately. A little bit.
Yeah, I have.
String some of those.
And that's what did it for me. I gave it a 16 on the finish because that's like the one thing I actually enjoyed about this was the finish on the back end. I like the warmth in my throat. It was nice. It was comfortable.
It drinks over its proof.
Yeah. But that's the only thing that I really actually enjoyed about it. Other than that, it was below average for me.
It didn't get better with the second pour, I can tell you that. Yeah. It's like there wasn't anything I missed on the first one.
No.
I got everything in the beginning it was had to give, and then maybe the second pour takes away a little bit. Yeah. And you guys don't even want a second pour. It's not going to happen.
All right. Any final notes on anything?
They filed bankruptcy. So, I mean, It'll become a collector item eventually, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. If you can find them at your wholesale club a little cheaper, I've heard prices are up. I've heard seeing prices are down. I'd buy one at $39 or $40. I would not pay $130 for that.
No.
Yeah, no. The when you first Google it, Walmart showing one.
Yeah, mine was like,
Oh,
when I bought it a year and a half ago.
We're selling it for $100.
Yeah,
I
$99.
got 25% off, but I'm still upset about my purchase.
Yeah.
I'm not buying another. At $39, I'd struggle to buy another one to give to somebody to try something in their range, maybe.
You know,
we should bring the Takumi on.
No,
do a side by side.
I like
maybe
Takumi better.
that might be good, but I would say
They drink even hotter.
for this at
But it is.
at
What's
you
that
know
flavor?
at $40, I would buy this to make like a Coke and whiskey or something
It
like
falls in your eye. It's string in your eye.
that. Yeah, because I would
You're on
I would
my
spice up
kick,
spice up a Coke with it just to get
It
that
has
burn.
My mouth is a little numb. On the front of my lips are a little numb.
Would you rather have this or Jack Daniels in your Coke?
I'd rather have the Jack,
Well, there you
to
go.
be honest.
It's so sweet.
Yeah, exactly. But I was saying, like at $40, I might consider
maybe.
that. Anyway,
There it is. Slaughter.
that's the
Everything but throw the
Kentucky.
bottle across the room.
That is the Kentucky Owl straight bourbon whiskey. Actually, right? Yes, straight bourbon whiskey. But hope you guys are having a good time, and whatever you're drinking, we hope you enjoy. Cheers.
Cheers.